Here with Markmunoz. First of all, congrats on the win. How'd you feel about the fight?
Oh, man, I'm so excited. You know, just having the outcome that I had was just unbelievable. I think all the hard work that I've been putting in, I think it's all worth it, man. You know.
Yeah. Well, take us through the fight a little bit. You tried for a takedown.
Yep.
It didn't go the way you wanted to, but
yeah.
how did you actually get in better position there?
You know, I had him locked up, and that's not the side that I really lock up for my throw. And so I stepped around and I hooked his leg, and you know, I didn't think he can get it out. And so as I went to pop my hips, he kind of hooked my leg and I fell down to my back. But you know, I go with the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world, and you know, over at the Gracie Academy, and I roll with Heat-On Henner Gracie and the guys out there, and you know, I feel comfortable on my back, and I feel comfortable you know, getting back on top where I can rain down punches and looking for my submissions as well. So you know, and that's, you know, when I took his back, and I'm confident there.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to roll a couple times, try to get to his back. How do you keep that hip control?
You know, just all the years I've been wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, all the years I've been wrestling, you know, I'm able to, you know, distribute my weight pretty well. And I knew he was going to try to roll me. You know, I even stuck my hand out for a post on the other side.
Yeah.
And when he rolled back, I met him with some punches on the other side. So yeah, you know, I'm able to, you know, kind of manipulate my weight to be able to stay on top.
Did you ever think when you first started, when you got in that position, that you'd be fine kind of taking that next vicious angle? Because obviously you don't get to throw strikes in wrestling, but you got to have a killer instinct. I mean, I counted the punches. I think the first stint you got like 15 punches off, and then the second one to finish it was like 29 punches.
Yeah.
And you got to be pretty brutal. We saw, you know, Brock Lesnar's a great example.
Yep.
You know, against Randy Couture, he threw 25 punches in about 15 seconds to finish the fight. So how do you make that adjustment from wrestling to being, you know, just a killer instinct striker?
I think with just my upbringing in wrestling, when I wrestled at Oklahoma State, when I sensed the finish, you know, I went harder, and I fed off of it, and I just keep going harder. And just, you know, just my training. In my training, you know, when I feel a guy breaking, I just go harder. You know, obviously I'm not raining down punches hard like that in practice, but the same mental process actually goes along in practice, and I'm able to translate that out in competition. So.
All right. So from here, what have they told you? Because obviously you're fighting right now with WEC.
Yeah.
They're moving along without 205 and 85 in the next year.
Yeah.
In 2009, I forgot the year. So what have they told you?
You know, I'm pretty much going to go to the UFC.
Yeah.
And you know, from there, you know, it's a big Shark Tank.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what weight I'll be at, you know, right now, but you know, I'm gonna go back and discuss it with my camp and my managers and you know, everyone that can give me advice, actually.
Right.
So, you know, I'm gonna take it day by day, but you know, once I get back, I'm gonna train again, no break, and I'm just gonna keep training.
Now, I don't know if you see the smirk on my face, but on the fighting weight, you wrestled, and it's been a while since you wrestled in college, 2001.
Yeah.
You wrestled at 197.
Yep.
You're fighting at 205.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like you have a little extra meat on your bones where you can get to 85, and that division would seem like the more advantageous in terms of upward mobility, because 205 is ridiculous.
Yep. You know, and I'm actually taking that into consideration. You know, knowing that there's a lot of good guys at 205, but there's also a lot of good guys at 185. And, you know, it's whichever weight that I feel comfortable at and I feel best at.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a give or take. You know, if I go down to 185, you know, I'm taking away from my learning because I'm having to cut more weight.
Right.
You know, and at 205 I can be comfortable and keep learning in the process, and you know, feel good. You know, and I'm having fun right now. You know, but I'm actually an in-betweener, you know?
Right.
You know, if there was a 195-pound class, that would be perfect for me. But, you know, I'm in between. You know, you know, I can get to 230, you know, but I can probably shrink down to about 200, you know? So, you know, it just depends. You know, I'm going to do a trial run and see where I'm at, and, you know, I'm just going to keep training. So
in the cage, you mentioned some pretty big names that you've been working with. Jiu-Jitsu side, talk about that first, and then you mentioned Freddie Roach on the boxing side.
Yes. You know, jiu-jitsu-wise, I'm working with Heat-On Henner Gracie over at the Gracie Academy in Torrance, and those guys have taken me in, and you know, actually, I got in through a real good friend of mine, Tarek Azim, who trained me in boxing, before I went to Wildcard Gym, and that's actually my contact that I got there and at the Gracie Academy. So Tarek is, one of my main training partners, and he hooked it up. But I am working with, who's training me right now is Juan Carlos Martinez, also known as Panda. I'm working with him. He's actually teaching me how to turn my body into punches with more power. And Freddie Roach actually, he's actually agreed to train me after the Manny Pacquiao fight. So I'm just wanting to get better, and continue to improve. Mike the Joker Guyman, he's obviously there's a lot of disciplines. He's really good at weaving everything together for me, and he's actually adding to my game. And I can't forget Gunyao over at Fairtex, and Mike Bruno and Anthony Lynn and all those guys over there that have been with me in the beginning, and Uriah Faber, who actually just said, Munoz, you need to train, you need to fight. And I'm like, yeah, man, I need to do it. And so I jumped in both feet, training full time, and now I'm here.
Your ethnic background is?
Filipino.
Straight up.
I'm straight up Filipino.
All right.
Full blood.
All right. Yeah. So the fight coming up here in Vegas, the boxing match. I'm assuming you're on Pac-Man's side.
Pac-Man all the way, baby.
How do you think he'll do it?
You know what? He's tenacious. He's very, very fast, and he can throw a lot of punches. And if he keeps it a high-paced fight, I think he has a really good chance of winning. De La Hoya is going to be a real strategic, methodical fighter. I think if Manny can, throw out more punches, and outbox him, I think that's where he'll be. So.
All right.